Twice my size. His slap is a weapon. Now he just talking, making a threat. He's not thinking about a law-abiding citizen that's thinking about the law and very strategic in everything he do.
For sure. You know why?
He a 200
you know
pound plus man.
Because at the end of the day, they playing Charleston White is playing chess. These goddamn rappers and everybody that's coming at him is playing checkers. You know what I'm saying?
Now T.I., you raising these kind of little yellow motherfuckers. You got a yellow motherfucker. Look how your son look. Talking about he'll jump on a 50-something-year-old nigga. Yo boy, hey, so T.I., them the kind of boys you got. Say T.I., listen, if your boy jump on me, y'all will bury that yellow motherfucker.
What's poppin', GE? Gangsta boy, Feuds, man. We back with another reaction video. Check this out, man. Charleston White again. You guys keep sending me the DMs about Charleston White. That's why we doing Charleston White. You feel me? As long as you guys send them, we gonna do it. I'm giving the people what they want. You feel me? Can't go wrong there. Hey, but check this out, man. I think you guys actually love to hate Charleston White. There's a lot of people that love him. There's a lot of people that hate him. But our people that hate Charleston White just hate the truth that he speaks and a lot of the shit he says. So it's like you love the message, but hate the messenger type. You feel me? But either way, we about to get into this reaction video. Man, let's go ahead and run it up right now. You feel me?
Yes, my name is Charleston White. I'm a victim of a crime by a guy of a rolling 50 Crip. They call him 5-5 Street Crip, baby OG, baby Snaps. He got a cell phone in prison and he's making threats to victims via social media.
I got a quick question for you. What does Charleston White hate more than gangbangers? Yeah, you got that right. Gangbanging rappers.
Stomp on his head, King Von dead. Stomp on his head, King Von dead. Did your God let us witness the death of King Von? Pow, 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 pow. And that died.
From King Von to Lil Durk, T.I. to Soulja Boy, no one is safe when Charleston White's in town. And while most people would have been dead by now for half of the this man has said and did, Charleston's still alive regardless, and he's still kicking.
You don't want no problem, what you keep on kicking up dust for?
So let's take a look at the nastiest instances of disrespect this Texas native has dished out. Here's 10 times Charleston White humiliated rappers.
That boy got that
Charleston
thing on
White
him.
versus Bandman Kevo.
Let me ask you this.
Bandman
What's
Kevo.
the most you ever paid for coochie for?
Like 12 racks.
12 racks for intercourse is
12
wild. And
racks?
that's why the day this Say Cheese interview with Bandman Kevo dropped, the internet went bonkers. But the rapper was dead on his word because he not only admitted to paying $12,000 for coochie, he also went on to say that he did it on a regular and that the average he paid for other less priced sexual meetups was 6 bands. Bro, the math behind this is crazy. How often does he do this? Are we talking hundreds per month, millions per year? I could end poverty in Ohio with that kind of stack. Now, I ain't coming at Bandman Kevo's methodology for getting laid. It's his money, not mine. Well, how can you say that when Charleston White lives and breathes God's air? When Say Cheese brought this particular issue up with Charleston in his own interview, the Texas native gave every fuck he could give.
I don't love pleasure that much to get nobody $12,000.
At all.
I get is a nut.
For
That's a
sure.
sucker to me. I don't care how much money you got, you a sucker. If you giving away that money for some women don't respect tricks in no shape, form, or fashion. I don't give a damn how much money you give them. She would never have no respect for you as a man.
But Charleston wasn't done yet. He had to add some pizzazz to his take on Kevo's deed. In true fashion, Charleston went after Bandman Kevo's curious physique.
Man, if he really could lift weights, if he really could lift weights like he looked, because he looked like he lift weights, but he don't. He just a blowed up, you know, like the king.
Now, how do you recover from that
Blowed
kind
up
of
new.
violation? Because on the internet, most folks with Charleston, I mean, it was common knowledge that Kevo had work done on his body. And the man hadn't tried hiding it. He said it himself that he had liposuction for his belly because he found it difficult to cut the fat with exercise. But there was also no denying that his body straight up looked weird as and that's why he became such an easy target for Charleston. Now, after this violation, the wise thing would have been to shut up, move on, and not take Charleston on because there was no way in hell, heaven or on earth, Kevo was going to win a war of words with that uncle. But the rapper chose to do the complete opposite. He went back on Say Cheese to defend why he was paying college fees for coochie. And he also made the grave error of adding his own pizzazz, dissing the man, Charleston White.
So, of course, Charleston can get those girls that Charleston get, they free. You don't need $1 to hit them type of females. So I understand that when Charleston comes off, once he gets on this level, once he cross sides, then he'll kind of understand. Right now, he can't see this side. He barely can see anyways.
I ain't gonna lie, Kevo leveled the playing field with that one. And I ain't talking about his foul explanation for why he paid for sex. I'm talking about the diss on Charleston Crazy Eyes. But hey, you have to be green to think this was where it was gonna end. Because after this, Charleston took his gloves off and launched a whole new wave of disrespect for Kevo, mispronouncing his name and coming up with new theories for Kevo's questionable
Come on,
physique.
man, he like a Ninja Turtle.
Like, he built like Bandman Kevo. Oh, he talking like they eating healthy. Well, if they was eating healthy, why did he have to get the BBL? If he was eating healthy.
No, that's a very good point.
And we don't got no workout video. How is he maintaining them muscles? It's styrofoam and silicone.
This new round of disses must have really gotten the Bandman Kevo up, that's what I'm calling him, because he suddenly felt the need to prove to Charleston that his BBL was actually grass-fed. So one night, Charleston says he woke up to a message from Kevo on his celly. It was a video of the rapper working out and showing off his grass-fed muscles. Charleston didn't appreciate the video because, in his words, he didn't have any muscle, and he was convinced Kevo was challenging him. So he returned the favor by sending him his strongest muscle.
So I sent him the best muscle I had that I thought that was, you know, can compete with other people's muscles. So I sent him my muscle. And I ain't just sent him a picture, I sent him a video. And I was putting grease on my muscle. You know, like how you grease, he was greasing his arm? Yeah, I was greasing mine.
You can bet Kevo didn't sleep well that night. And as you would expect, Kevo called Charleston gay for the intimate expose he was given by the man himself. But Charleston had a logic to why he sent the video. And I gotta admit, it does sound logical.
You saw my dick. I ain't see yours. My dick is on your mind. Your dick ain't on mine. I know what your belly look like, but you know what my dick look like. So, and the boo-boo, I win.
Somehow this makes sense. And somehow I agree that Charleston won this beef with Kevo. But hey, if it helps the situation, at least Bandman Kevo didn't have to pay 12 grand for some digital action with Charleston. Turns out there's a first time for everything, right? Now, Charleston's beef with Kevo might have been hella comical, but there were no laughs or jokes when it came to the beef Charleston had with Lil Durk, the O-Block homies, and a specific rapper named 600 Breezy. Charleston versus 600 Breezy, Lil Durk, and O-Block. This clip you're seeing right here is one of the most dangerous situations Charleston has ever been in. He was with none of his own crew, facing off 600 Breezy and surrounded by O-Block members. This was the moment Charleston was supposed to answer for his big mouth. So what did his big mouth do? Well, it really didn't have nothing specific to do with 600 Breezy because they didn't know each other up until that point. It was a subset of an existing beef that Charleston had with King Von. In the immediate aftermath of Von's demise, Charleston proceeded to have what could be best described as a bizarre home run celebration on Von's dead body in media circles.
I watched a demon get erased, walked to his demise with so much power and force behind him.
Charleston's rant on Von was so dramatic, many people who didn't know the guy thought he was tripping.
Stomp on his head, King Von dead. Stomp on his head, King Von dead.
And you don't blame them. If you didn't know that Charleston has been fighting the gangbanging lifestyle for most of his life, you would be wondering why the hell he was shitting all over a dead rapper's name. But you see, 600 Breezy and many of O-Block crew members knew that Charleston meant every word, and they hated it. Word on the street was that these homies and Breezy in particular were just waiting for the right time to get their hands on Charleston. And as the spirit of Von would have it, that chance presented itself at a movie premiere that both Charleston and 600 Breezy just happened to attend. 600 Breezy was there with his crew, but Charleston was there alone.
Now we in Mississippi at the movie premiere. Now he come in and they get that, you know, that's Charleston White, ooh, 600 Breezy. What's up, black man?
Charleston had no idea in hell he was going to be in the same vicinity with one of Von's homies that day, and he sure as hell had no intention of partaking in any kind of violence. 600 Breezy, on the other hand, was ready for some action, even if he said he wasn't, and he would probably have hurt him if there wasn't one big problem.
So I walk in the crib. I get that, hey, I'm on some cool shit. I never yelled at this. None of that. I never did. None of that. I know he gonna put the police on me. Telling me to my face, I'm putting the police on me.
So it was the fear of the police that made Breezy move easy on Charleston. And knowing all of that, Charleston didn't even flinch 1 second in the presence of his ops. Even worse, the man stood on his word, saying that 600 Breezy and his crew kill black men, and that he, Charleston, was against anything that was against his race. Nothing happened that day to move the situation sideways, and Charleston got out of that situation with both his mouth and his ego intact. This was an obvious L for Breezy, as you can imagine. Imagine someone disses your dead homie and you catch them lacking on the outside and still can't do nothing. And even worse, Charleston would take an interview with everyone's worst culture correspondent, DJ Academics, where he dissed Von, some more, and all of Chicago. So Breezy warned Charleston, saying he better not catch Charleston outside.
I said, nigga, but when I see you again, it's gonna be a problem.
But you see, this is where things get confusing. Because in an interview with DJ Vlad much later, Breezy would point out that he no longer seeks out Charleston because the man could get him in trouble with 12. So Charleston had won his beef with Breezy. But he wasn't done with O-Block just yet. He was on a mission against Chicago gangsters. Call it drive-by dissing, whatever you want. He came for Lil Durk. But fans quickly came to Durk's defense. And they warned Charleston in the comments that Durk was going to have his head for his disrespect on Von's name.
I killed the image, homie, of what our people think these is. Lil Durk ain't no bad motherfucker. No, man, bad motherfuckers don't have fat white baby mamas.
Bruh, sometimes I wonder how Charleston says all of this crazy with a straight face. And frankly, I don't get the logic behind this diss. But if the goal was to kill the O-Block image for the fans, he was on to something. And you know, Charleston might have a sharp tongue, but his heart seems to be in the right place. Because when Say Cheese asked him about the whole situation with fans asking Durk to avenge Von's death, here's what he had to say.
This is a lose-lose situation that the fans want to put the rappers in.
Absolutely.
If they don't do it, we gonna quit listening to you. If you do it and go to jail, we gonna quit listening to you.
Now, we know Durk ain't gonna comment on nothing. And since O-Block homies appear to be terrified of 12, Charleston is probably in the clear. But so far, the version of Charleston I've shown you is tame. Because what he did to King Yella on account of the same Von situation turned the homie inside out. Charleston versus King Yella. Knowing which battles ain't yours is a skill that not many folks have. And unfortunately, King Yella is one of such folks. Now to his credit, Yella was AWOL through the disses Charleston was dishing out to Von. But what made him break his silence was when Charleston added the equally deceased FBG Duck to the group chat. But instead of dissing Yella back straight up, for some reason, Charleston ignored the man and went straight after his family, specifically his 3-year-old daughter.
With all that scribbly stuff on his face, I say that's a dope fiend, baby. His mama was a crack addict, baby. That's why he was in an institution. He looked like he was in an institution. Yeah. King Yella, baby. He old Yella with a bunch of scrabbly on his face, and he got an ugly daughter. Yeah, he got an ugly yellow daughter.
I mean, even if Yella would have ignored the man for dissing him, there was no way he was going to overlook an attack on his family, let alone his daughter. So it wasn't surprising when Yella responded.
Will you play with my children, my daughter, on GLD, use a you do all that shit you talk about like it's for the youth. But you talking about a 3-year-old child, though. You goofy mark clown. You and your ugly dog rat looking wife.
No one's gonna fault Yella for his reaction. In fact, most of the community was on his side because we all agree kids should be off limits in beefs like this. If you are wondering why, I should call the cops on you, but I'll still give you the benefit of doubt. Kids are innocent. They didn't sign up for birth, and they didn't beg to be brought into the world, so we should exclude them from our bullshit. And Yella's 3-year-old is no exception. Now, everyone was on the same page, but Charleston being Charleston, he came up with a pretty convincing reason why he went after Yella.
That's just who he is.
His defense was that everyone was uncomfortable with him dissing the kids of gangsters, but no one showed the same outrage when those same gangsters killed other people's kids.
Tuka was a kid. They sold this. Listen, homie, there was a 1-month-old baby shot in the head in Chicago. How can we be so offended by motherfuckers saying that ugly little bitch, but we watch kids die by the hands of these gangbangers year after year?
Bro, that's why I said, man, a lot of motherfuckers hate the messenger and miss the message. Like, you cannot dispute what he's saying, just ain't facts. He's saying he's dissing rappers, you know what I'm saying, kids, but them same gangster rappers are turning around and killing kids. Them kids got mamas. I don't care if you the daddy, your kid ugly. It don't make no sense. All I'm saying is what Charleston White is saying is all factual, bro. Don't make it seem like all kids are off limit to everybody when it's not. You know what I'm saying? What you get out, what you put in is what you're going to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Attack is an attack, period. So you might not like what Charleston's saying, but you got to respect it. You got to know it make motherfucking sense. That's all I'm saying.
Here, homie.
But none of what Charleston said here stopped Yella from threatening violence on the Texas native.
I heard you're going to be in Vegas soon.
What you gonna do about it?
I hope you come with the police. Because if I find out where you're gonna be at, on my mama, on my kids, I'm gonna, you see these? You see this? I'm gonna put this motherfucker all on your face. I'm gonna smack you like a bitch.
So how did Charleston White respond? Did he apologize? Did he insult Yella's daughter further? Or did he shift his rage to Yella himself? If you picked any of those possible answers, you're dead wrong. Charleston
So what'd he
reported
do?
Yella's threat to his probation officer. He snitched on him.
So I get a lot of threats from the gang members. There's one in particular by the name of King Yella. That I was told he's on probation out of Las Vegas, but he's a well-known, influential, powerful Chicago gang leader. And he's making threats online about when I come to Las Vegas.
I bet you didn't see that coming. Turns out that Yella was just 1 foot out of prison, and if he slipped, he'd be thrown back in.
Right
and this
back
wouldn't
in
be
him.
the first time Charleston would call the cops on a rapper. He'd already done that to OG Percy's son, PMG God, who as a direct result of that phone call, got 20 years behind bars. Charleston
God
even
damn.
justified his decision to call the cops on Yella, saying that the rapper was carrying a weapon that he don't even know he carrying.
He twice my size. His slap is a weapon. Now he just talking, making a threat. He's not thinking about a law-abiding citizen that's thinking about the law and very strategic in everything he do.
For sure. You know why?
He a 200
You know why?
pound plus man.
Because at the end of the day, they playing Charleston White is playing chess. These goddamn rappers and everybody that's coming at him is playing checkers. You know what I'm saying? Chess versus checkers. Who you think gonna win that? Who you think is more strategic when it comes? Chess is a strategic game. Checkers, you just jump over. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. It's a little strategic, but nothing like no chess. Charleston White plays chess. Everybody else is playing checkers. So best believe Charleston White knows what he's saying, what he's doing. When he makes that move, he knows the outcome already. He knows where it might go already. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is.
Known to have a probably violent history.
But that wasn't all. Charleston also flexed some of his weapons online to show Yella that he was staying strapped.
Oh,
just in
DC
case
sniper
Yella
type
had
stance. You know
kamikaze
what I'm
on his
saying?
mind. So when Yella would come around to the reality of what Charleston had done, he put out a response to Charleston once again.
All y'all people that's trying to come up off the culture. Yeah, you might be black, but you not no street. And if you was, you's a straight goofy. You's a goofy for what you doing. You have to be smarter. Now you trying to play police game.
But by this time, the rapper could see that it wouldn't pay him to go after Charleston. He had too much to lose. And if he tried anything remotely criminal, Charleston had sworn to use the law to his advantage.
That's
so
a
Charleston
cold
escaped
boy.
any physical encounter with Yella. But the man hasn't always been lucky to avoid the physical manifestation of the repercussions of his deeds. In fact, while beefing with Soulja Boy, the rapper sought him out, found him, and things got ugly. Charleston versus Soulja Boy. In the
Soulja
immediate
Boy, huh?
aftermath of Young Dolph's passing
Come
in
on,
November of 2021, Soulja Boy went live and didn't say a word. That's the clip that's playing right now. Now, if you didn't know the history between Soulja Boy and the deceased Memphis crooner, you'd think the former was paying his respects. He wasn't. In his own twisted way, Soulja Boy was mocking Young Dolph because they'd been beefing for a long time before the rapper's demise. And it was crazy at the time because many peeps were convinced that Soulja Boy was killing his ops. Was Soulja Boy really taking out his ops? Say Cheese asked Charleston the same question, and this was his answer.
I Soulja Boy. Crunchy Black said he was a punk. Yeah, Crunchy Black still here. Yeah, my Country Black talk real bad about man, listen. I want to remind Soulja Boy, you ain't got no mother ops. And watch him use.
Of course, Soulja Boy saw this, and of course, he went live again, this time giving a response where he made it super clear that he hadn't given nobody, not Charleston, not Say Cheese, nobody, the permission to speak on his name.
Say Cheese, DJ Vlad, No Jumper, stop interviewing all these dead boy.
Soulja Boy was obviously pressed, and Charleston's statements obviously hit him where it hurts. Charleston had said in that same interview that Soulja Boy was no gangster. Less than a month later, the Crank IT rapper would pull up in a Sprinter van with 10-0 his goons at a mall where Charleston was shopping. According to Soulja Boy, all he wanted to do was talk. According to Charleston, he was wondering why Soulja brought 10 of his guys for their impromptu conversation.
They were real passive aggressive. So I'm trying to read the body language. Nobody's smiling, nobody's saying, nobody's giving off no danger. So I gradually reach in my pocket and grab this little bottle of mace.
Yes, you heard that right. Charleston defended himself or attacked him, depending on who's telling the story, with a bottle of mace spray. Charleston's wild.
So he walk up to me. The first 6, 7 guys, damn near stand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. As soon as he say, I want to talk, I'll reach over her head and mace.
How you gonna catch your supposed
Golly.
op lacking unawares and still come out down under? Soulja Boy had taken yet another O, and from a mace of all weapons.
He's out here with pepper spray, y'all. That's what's going on. These niggas out here putting pepper spray out there first.
At this point, Soulja was telling a different story, talking about how Charleston pulled out the mace and sprayed it in the air out of fright. But if you go back to that video, you can see Soulja's eyes were kind of puffy, and Charleston pointed out saying, your face ain't even healed yet, so I know you're still aggravated and agitated. You got skin agitation, so you still mad in some kind of way. Soulja Boy responded by broke-shaming Charleston. You still live in a trailer park. You ain't never touched $1 million. I've been making money since I was 16. After that, he waved several $100 bills in front of the camera, demanding that Charleston show him a $100K. Well, we both know Charleston ain't showing him 100 bands anytime soon, and personally, I think Soulja Boy goofy as hell. But that's just me. I want to know who you think won this particular altercation.
Soulja Boy always
who's got a
flexing his
100
money,
to
he
show
can't
off,
fight.
or Charleston, who's the first to solo 10 dudes with nothing but a mace spray. In the meantime, let's talk about the time Charleston took on a rapper and his son. Charleston versus T.I. and his son King. This was what started it all.
Stop talking to me. This ain't your fucking restaurant. This ain't your fucking restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping on you.
If you don't know, this individual is King Harris, T.I.'s son. And back in May of 22, the video I just showed you went viral on the internet. King Harris got into a heated argument at a Waffle House restaurant after they supposedly messed up his order. What triggered him was when a cashier in the restaurant told him he couldn't cuss, so he spazzed out, threatening to pistol whip the staff. Now, of course, the internet condemned King's behavior, but everyone was expecting T.I. to say something. And he did say something, but it was soft and denigrating. T.I. said he spoke with his son, and he didn't understand why King felt the need to go back and forth with a short-order cook, with someone who's at another level of life. First off, it sounded like T.I. was blaming the cook, letting his son off easy. And secondly, T.I. also had that superiority thing going on, suggesting his son was better than the cook. I don't need to tell you how much outrage this caused with folks. And one of those folks just happened to be Charleston. Funny enough, Charleston didn't speak on the incident or the boy until King Harris and Tootie Raw, Boozie's son, both got arrested. And King's mugshot went viral.
You don't look nothing like that T.I. boy. That boy T.I. boy done put that blonde shit on this motherfucking hair. Yeah, he damn near look like curly hair Howard stuff. Platypus mouth.
Platypus.
King Harris didn't take Charleston's review of his looks lightly. He responded with his own live chock full of disses on the man.
Boy, Charleston White, you's a bitch, boy. That nigga said he was with him. He was with him. Man, I said with my older cousins, motherfucker went to praying who did what, who, man, we was about to whoop your ass when you come back down here.
God, bro, I ain't gonna lie.
Yo, you had, I can see you had a...
Bro, one thing, I know people will say that King looks funny. God damn it, I can't lie, he do. You know what I'm saying? But it's the worst part when you high yellow like that and you got blonde shit on top of your head, bro. It's when you high yellow like that and you go put a tattoo like the goddamn Playboy bunny on the side of your shit, bro. Worst tattoo ever. It makes him look even worse, in my humble opinion. You feel me? That's one tattoo he should not have gotten at all, if any. Maybe some arm sleeves, whatever. But a neck tattoo, not on a high yellow nigga. No, Sirski.
Soft upbringing.
The irony is lost on the little boy. Imagine being T.I.'s son and going ahead to tell someone like Charleston that he had a soft upbringing. Well, that is exactly what Charleston wanted, though, because immediately King's live went down. Charleston's was up.
T.I. son say, I'll whoop your old ass. Now, T.I., you raising these kind of little yellow motherfuckers. You got a yellow motherfucker, look how your son look, talking about he'll jump on a 50-something-year-old nigga. Yo, boy, hey, so T.I., them the kind of boys you got? Say, T.I., listen, if your boy jump on me, y'all will bury that yellow motherfucker.
It was at this point that T.I. decided that he had to step in and issue his own threats to Charleston. You know, put Charleston in his place for threatening the life of his son.
Whatever man can fix his motherfucking face to talk shit about a motherfucking kid, bruh. You's a come deal with the daddy. Come deal with the daddy, man.
T.I. also warned him that he had folks that were ready to do time for him and his family. But Charleston wasn't rattled. Hell no. But he did take part of T.I.'s advice and run with it, coming for the daddy and accusing him of being a rat who worked with the FBI.
That man say he a 7-time convicted felon in one song. 7 convicted felons. I was just saying 7 convicted felons. How you get caught with all these got guns? How? How? What deal? You can't even find his records nowhere on this.
The situation was escalating quickly, and like most of Charleston's ops, T.I. had way more to lose than Charleston. Meanwhile, Charleston was ready to take things the whole mile. Full press tour, you feel me? But after some back and forth exchange, after some denial, a diss track and threats, T.I. ran out of gas and called a truce. He got on a call with Charleston and allegedly tried to squash the beef, but that didn't go as planned either. And trust Charleston, he got that last word in before their beef went mute.
Yeah, just got off the phone with T.I. Yeah, just got off the phone with T.I. Yeah, just got off the phone with T.I.
God.
You don't get to dictate nothing. Yeah, you don't get, you or whoever that nigga don't know. You don't get to dictate nothing. I'm trying to get understanding. Well, I ain't trying to get an understanding or give an understanding.
Yikes. Hell nah. Bro. Can't give Charleston White. I'm telling you, he's playing chess, bro. You guys are feeding into it. He knows you guys have more to lose than him. And you guys still falling for the bait every time. And then you run out of gas and run out of this and that. And Charleston White, he got something for you. The other day, Charleston White said, can't no nigga out-talk him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Can't no nigga on this earth out-talk me type. You know what I'm saying? He's ready for whatever. Chess, not checkers. He ain't lost sense. You know what I'm saying? He ain't lost sense. So what that tell you? You might want to think twice about coming for Charleston White or responding to some crazy shit that he say just for the internet. I'm just saying, that's just my advice. You know what I'm saying? You do what you want. Do what you please. Do what you will. Hey, check this out, man. If you like the video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you're new, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Like the video, share the video to your friends. Get the motherfucker pumping and jumping, man. We on that 25K subscriber grind. Your boy Feuds nigga, man. We on that. Told you, man, we ain't playing no games. We running it up. We staying consistent is the most important thing. No matter what's going on, what the numbers say, we staying consistent. When you see the vision, you got a bigger goal. You know what I'm saying? What Nipsey say? The only distinguishing quality between what somebody's going through and where they're trying to get to is you don't quit. You don't quit. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we at. We ain't quitting. Relentless with it. It's your boy Feuds nigga, man. We out this motherfucker. Come on.
Damn. That what you doing? That what you doing? You cooking like that? Damn. That what you doing?